Question everything, for the truth should not be televised. And that's for sure. So with that, you know, you got Rochester, New York, you know, the DA who supposed to have got pulled over by a police officer, but decided she was going to continue to flee and evade being pulled over, quote unquote, allegedly, by this police officer doing 50 on a 30. And because she was going so fast over the speed limit, it opted the police to have to do his job like he's supposed to. You know, when you break the law, that's what the police supposed to do their job. But instead, she don't, excuse me, she don't pull over, she don't stop. The DA decides she's going to ride and flee the police and go to her house. Now she's going to go to her house and then jump out the vehicle. Now, for one, that's dangerous to the police officer, because who's to say what she's doing? Who to say where she's coming from and why she was riding, you know, that fast in a 30-mile-an-hour area? And who to say what she might have in a garage? He don't know who she is. He's just doing his job, a traffic stop. But finally, she get out and she comes to find out she's the DA, and she feel like she have the authority to not stop or pull over when she feel like it, and that she gonna call the chief of police on him because she don't have to abide by traffic laws, obviously, quote unquote, allegedly, because at the end of the day she didn't stop. And now she feel as if she can talk to the cop any old type of way standing in her garage. You know, what gets me is I did a video about the complexion for protection, genetic immunity from law, you know, and this situation shows exactly what I'm talking about. How the colonizers can do almost all sorts of things that the Aboriginal Negroes can't do when it comes to dealing with their law, the law that they created after doing a Holocaust, genocide, and massacre on a people to take the land of America. And now that it is passed down and given to the inheritors, I tell you all the time, they maintain what their forefathers have stolen and what their forefathers have done. And when it comes to federal census of ethnic arrest, it tells you that the colonizers get arrested more than anybody in the country. They just don't get publicized, nor do they get prosecuted more than the Aboriginal Negroes of America. But it makes sense because it's their law. They the ones control it. So why would they make themselves the face of what they're doing when it comes to crime? No, they're going to make somebody else the face of it. Just like I tell you all the time that United States is the biggest criminal empire that ever existed, because they never been brought to justice for crime against humanity, and they're sitting on top of it and don't care, even though they done been a part of what has happened strictly 100% to the Aboriginal Negroes and why they're in the position that they're in, sitting in ghetto slums and hoods. But this is that reality. So she decides she's going to just blunt out, pretty much be a Karen to this cop. And he don't do nothing. He sits there and he pleads with her and talk to her and de-escalate and try to be as calm as he possibly can be. But let's think about that for a minute. Do you think that would happen to an Aboriginal Negro of America, man or woman, who is being pulled over by a traffic violation and flees in the sense of driving all the way to their home and not stop and get out in their garage? What do you think would have happened to an Aboriginal Negro of America? Leave it in the comments. I'm pretty sure you know what would happen. We see these videos all the time on Undisputed and many other places. Yeah, exactly. I already know. Most of us would be deleted off the planet. It wouldn't even be no reality. They'd have so many excuses to dog us out in so many different horrific ways to where it would be justified by law. But for her, being the DA, she can get away with this? That's what y'all telling me? She's above the law? Huh? In Rochester, New York, the DA can just do what she want to do? And then in that case, when it comes to prosecuting these type of cases where people feel uncomfortable of pulling over in Rochester, New York, when it comes to dealing with the police department pulling them over, and they say, well, I didn't feel comfortable, so I drove home, they should have the right to do that too, right? Well, one hand got to watch the other. It can't be one way for the DA and not the other way for other people. It got to be the same way. This is just that reality. Well, this is where we're standing right now. And this is the different types of bias that are in the law enforcement when it comes to dealing with law, when it comes to being complexion for the protection or the complexion to get crushed without no protection. And that's just what it is, right? For I don't know. And I don't understand. But that is the question. You let me know. Peace, peace.